Imagine a project so perfect, it seemed destined for Oscar glory. A best-selling novel with millions of fans, a beloved Hollywood queen in the lead role, and a visionary director known for his emotional depth. It was supposed to be the cinematic event of the year. But while the cameras were rolling on It Ends With Us, a different kind of drama was unfolding, one that the director and lead actress didn't want you to see. Behind the smiles and the floral costumes, a professional war was being waged. A war that would eventually lead to separate edit rooms, a fractured press tour, and a public relations battle that has left Hollywood divided. What really happened between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni? Today, we peel back the curtain on the most controversial production of the decade. When it was announced that Colleen Hoover's global phenomenon It Ends With Us was coming to the big screen, the internet nearly broke. This wasn't just another romance movie. It was a story about survival, cycle breaking, and raw human emotion. Blake Lively, an icon of style and screen presence, was cast as Lily Bloom. Justin Baldoni, the star of Jane the Virgin, was set to direct and play the complex role of Ryle Kincaid. On paper, it was a match made in heaven. For the first few months, the narrative was perfect. Fans saw leaked photos of filming in New Jersey, and the hype was building. Industry insiders predicted a massive box office hit. But as any seasoned Hollywood veteran will tell you, when a movie deals with themes as heavy as domestic trauma, the atmosphere on set can become just as heavy. The trouble didn't start with a shout. It started with a whisper. In the high-pressure environment of a film set, the director is the captain of the ship. However, Blake Lively isn't just an actress. She is a powerhouse producer in her own right, with a massive brand and a husband, Ryan Reynolds, who is arguably the most successful marketing mind in Hollywood. As production hit its midpoint, reports began to surface that there were two captains on this ship. Justin had a specific, gritty, and perhaps more traditional directorial vision for the film's darker themes. Blake, however, reportedly felt a deep responsibility to the character and the fans, leading her to seek more creative control over the tone and even the dialogue. The creative process is often described as collaborative friction, but on this set, the friction was starting to cause a fire. Communication allegedly began to break down. Instead of a unified vision, the crew reportedly felt the pull of two different directions. It wasn't just about how a scene was shot, it was about who had the final word. As we move into Act 2, the tension shifted from artistic differences to a full-blown power struggle. The most shocking revelation to come out of the post-production phase was the report that there were actually two different cuts of the movie being developed simultaneously. In a move that is almost unheard of for a lead actor, Blake Lively reportedly commissioned her own edit of the film. Reports suggest she brought in Shane Reed, an editor who worked on Deadpool and Wolverine, to create a version of the movie that felt more aligned with her vision. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni was working on his own director's cut. This created a massive dilemma for the studio. Who do you side with? The director, who is legally responsible for the film, or the global superstar who is the face of the franchise? This wasn't just a disagreement over a few scenes. It was a fundamental disagreement on the soul of the movie. While the editing battle was happening in dark rooms, stories from the set began to leak. Sources claimed that the atmosphere had become uncomfortable. There were rumors of a gender divide on set, with claims that Baldoni's leadership style made some feel uneasy. However, every story has two sides. Supporters of Baldoni pointed out that he had spent years championing this project, securing the rights, and dedicating himself to the sensitive portrayal of domestic abuse. They argued that he was being iced out of his own project by a powerful star. On the other hand, the Lively camp suggested that her involvement saved the film's emotional heart. Her husband, Ryan Reynolds, even revealed that he wrote a significant portion of the iconic rooftop scene, a revelation that reportedly blindsided the director. Imagine being the director of a film and finding out your lead actress's husband is rewriting your script without your consultation. This wasn't just a professional slight. In the world of Hollywood ego, this was a declaration of war. The world finally saw the extent of the damage during the film's promotional tour. Usually, the director and the lead stars are inseparable during premieres. But at the It Ends With Us premiere, the distance was deafening. Blake and Justin were never photographed together. They did separate interviews. They didn't even sit in the same theater rows. TikTok sleuths and body language experts went into overdrive. Why did the entire cast follow Blake and unfollow Justin on Instagram? Why was Justin doing solo press focusing on the heavy message of the film, while Blake was promoting her hair care line and telling fans to grab your florals for a fun movie night? The disconnect was so vast that it became a meme. The film was no longer being discussed for its message, it was being discussed for its mess. In Act 3, we look at the wreckage. Both Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni hired high-powered PR crisis managers. This is when the narrative shifted from set drama to character assassination. A series of leaks began to hit the tabloids. One report claimed Justin made Blake feel uncomfortable about her post-pregnancy body during a lifting scene. Another report claimed Blake was a mean girl who bullied the director and took over the production. In the age of social media, the audience became the judge and jury. Despite the drama, the film was a massive financial success, grossing over $340 million worldwide. This proves that bad press doesn't always hurt the box office. Sometimes it fuels it. Justin Baldoni retained his director credit, and Blake Lively retained her starring and producing credits. It is a verified fact that there were multiple edits of the film. This is rarely done unless there is a significant breakdown in trust between the studio, the director, and the talent. There is a sequel book, It Starts With Us. However, given the current state of affairs, industry experts say it is highly unlikely that this duo will ever work together again. The rights to the sequel are reportedly tied up in a way that makes a follow-up movie a legal nightmare. As of 2026, there has been no official lawsuit filed by either party. No courtroom verdict exists because the battle is being fought in the court of public opinion. Justin Baldoni has largely taken a step back, focusing on his production company, Wayfair Studios, and speaking about positive masculinity. Blake Lively continues to be a dominant force in fashion and film, though her bubbly brand took a temporary hit during the height of the controversy. The story of It Ends With Us serves as a cautionary tale. It shows that in Hollywood, talent and money aren't enough. You need alignment. When two powerful visions collide, the movie might survive, but the relationships rarely do. So, whose side are you on? Was Blake Lively protecting a story she loved from a director she didn't trust? Or was Justin Baldoni a director who was robbed of his creative vision by a Hollywood elite? The credits have rolled on the movie, but the drama between these two may be far from over. If more behind-the-scenes footage or legal documents leak, you can bet we'll be here to cover it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the stories Hollywood tries to hide.